Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I want to show you what recently arrived on my doorstep. This was so surprising to me because it says it came from Rosemead, California, and I was like, I didn't order anything from California. And it turns out it was my Oden's Eye order. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Look how shiny and reflective this is. I have been really intrigued. I've been watching Angela Nyquist's channel for years. If you are not familiar with Angela, I will make sure and leave her channel in the description box below, but she loves bright makeup. She lives in Sweden and she's always buying indie makeup here, there, and everywhere. It's one of the things that she really loves. When she mentioned that there was a Swedish indie makeup company, I was like, ooh. So I made an order. This is the first time ever having ordered. Uh-oh, I hope everything arrives okay. So let's see what there is. Give me a minute, I'll unpack it all. Everything came beautifully bubble wrapped. The one thing that fell out was this lipstick. I think it's fine. I ordered a highlight, a blush, a lipstick, and an eyeshadow palette. Now, I know I have been talking about liking smaller palettes, and they have a new series called the Norns. It's three sisters, mythological sisters, but the colors were a little bright for me, and I wanted to buy something that I knew I would use, and I also wanted to try something that gave me a lot of options. So this is the palette that I got. It's called the Alva. And oh my goodness, it looks so pretty in person. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I feel like a little kid. What's interesting is that they put a little note in here that says, we hope that when you open the package, what's inside will bring you happiness, just like receiving a cherished toy when you were young. We hope that it's what you need and it's what you wanted. And I'm just like, this is exactly what I need, exactly what I want. And it does bring me that same level of like giddy excitement and joy, like birthday presents or Christmas gifts. That's what I'm feeling right now. I am just gonna start with this lightest matte neutral shade here. This one's called Jasmine. And I have my lids prepped with a little bit of concealer and a little bit of loose powder over the top. This is really pretty. So one of my goals for 2020 is to explore some brands I've never tried before and to get to know drugstore more. So this is falling into the indie makeup. And my goal is to continue to try some brands that are not available at Sephora, at Ulta, at your local drugstore, just to see what's out there. I've heard so many great things about indie makeup companies. I like that this color, I think you could pack it on and get a little bit more intensity from it. My goal is not to do that. My goal is to keep it really soft and build other shades on top. But I love how easily these blend. Beautiful. I'm gonna go in with this shade here. This one's called Morning Glory. It has kind of like a rusty but almost rose shade to it. I wanna put that right out here on the outside edge. Take it kind of low in the crease. Although there are some bright golds and, you know, marigold yellow shades in here, I will eventually reach into them, probably not today. I don't know. I wanted to try something that would be, you know, kind of easy for me to like right off the bat try and work with. If I have my dates right, this video is going to be going up on the 5th, which is my oldest daughter's birthday. I still don't know specifically. It's a couple days in advance. I always shoot in advance, FYI. But I don't really have any plans yet. I'm gonna ask her what she wants to do. Normally we would have a birthday party and have friends over, and my kids are kind of bummed. My girls have birthdays that are 5 days apart. So my oldest has a birthday on the 5th, my youngest has a birthday on the 10th. They're 2 years and 5 days apart, so it's like birthday, and then we have a whole year, and then it's birthday. And last year we decided to hold off on doing birthday parties because that's when, just before lockdown started, but we were taking like the cautious route. I told my kids last spring when we had to cancel both of their birthday parties, I said, look, you know, when things are better this summer and we're not told to stay home and stay safe, we'll get together with some friends, you know, naive me. We'll do it this summer. And so now it's like a whole year later and like the birthday planning that would have started normally like, you know, 3-4 weeks ago, there hasn't been any because we know we can't have friends over. I told my kids, I said, look, you know, I can set up a Zoom birthday party for you. And they're like, no. And I said, should I make the same promise I made last year? Like this summer when things are better? They're like, yeah. Because I think they actually think that might be a possibility. Oh, so I'm gonna have a 13 and 11-year-old. So happy birthday, Ava, love you. She's officially a teenager and I don't know what I'm gonna do with the teenage girl. If you've done it before me, tell me at least that it's possible. I'm gonna take a mixture of both of those colors, mostly that lighter kind of tan shade on a little teeny tiny brush like this, and just run it under my eye, just to get a little balance down here because I was looking a little out of balance. And of course, my left eye is watering like crazy. You know what's funny? A subscriber told me about a set of eye drops that I could try, and I have them here somewhere. Use them because I hate putting things in my eyes. I would much rather deal with running makeup. I need to get over it. Like if I can go and you know, get shots and have blood drawn and get IVs put in and have 14 surgeries, you'd think I could put some drops in my eyes. I don't know. That's a big deal for me. Oh, so here I am still struggling with a weepy eye. I'm gonna dip into this darkest matte shade here. This one's called Peony, and I'm gonna run that kind of right along the lash line here, just to give myself a little bit more definition, and then hit the outside lower corner. They're very blushy, rosy tones. I used to not be comfortable with this type of eyeshadow. I used to think that, you know, pinks or burgundy tones brought out the dark circles under my eyes, and now I'm kind of like, I don't care. It is what it is. And I also didn't really know how to wear this shade of eyeshadow because I grew up wearing neutrals. You know, I can blend a brown, no problem. You give me a cream, I'm good. But the minute there's color involved, I'm a little intimidated. But I feel like the older I get, the more I'm willing to try stuff because why not? You know, it's makeup, it washes off. I am so excited to stick my finger into some of these metallics. I'm just gonna start swatching. I went and I swatched all of them. Look at those. There is one right here at the end. It's kind of hard to see because it looks more like a top coat, but there's like a pinky one, and then more of like a silvery lavender one, but look at, okay. I'm gonna keep my excitement to myself, but this makes me giggle with joy. I'm really happy. Now these are all finger swatches. I wanna know what they perform like. I'm gonna get a clean brush. One of the things that I did notice is that this guy here is pressed a little softly. I wonder if all of their more metallic type finishes have more of that really soft. It got a little crumbly, but you know, we'll see what happens. This one, by the way, is the shade Carnation. Sorry, it's so pretty. It's so glittery. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know that you're seeing the full extent of sparkle. And if I were to put it on with my finger, oh yeah, this one's like the crumbly one. I don't want any fallout. It becomes like a little metallic. What is that? Wow. Okay, this one's really soft. Did get a little fallout here. Just gonna brush it away. I'm really curious about this shade right here. This is called Lilac, and it's one that when I swatched it earlier, it looked kind of sheer, like it could be like a really pretty topper. So I'm just gonna put just a little bit of this right in the center of the lid for some added light and dimension. It's gonna bring just a little bit of coolness to the lid and just make it pop. Oh my goodness. I feel like Tinkerbell with a little bit of pixie dust. I'm feeling very ethereal, very whimsical. I love this. And for you, you may be like, that's not whimsical. Remember, I'm a neutrals gal. Very, very pretty. I'm gonna try and put this shade here. This is Coffee Bean. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of it on my brush. I don't want a ton of, you know, darkness, but I want something a little bit darker than I got from that kind of rosy, and this one's sparkly too. That rosy matte tone I put down first is nice, but I want something just a little different out here. What's interesting is I see that this can go really warm because it has those marigold shades. It also has, you know, some of the more browns and champagnes in it. And then there's some very decidedly cooler tones, some plums, some mauves, that lilac shade. I feel like this can go warm and cool. So I'm going to use this shade in lilac right here on the inner corner. Oh, be still my heart. I'm just using a clean brush right now to get a lot of the excess sparkle. I feel like a lot of really sparkly shadows can be a little softer. And I still am like a gorilla, like going into it. So a lot of this is probably on me. I had a lot more fallout on the first eye I was doing and a lot less on the second eye. But a lot of that is just reminding myself that these are a little bit more delicate shadows. But I love the sparkle. I'm gonna throw on some liner and mascara and I'll be right back. I'm gonna be throwing on their Fruit Blusher in Ripe Papaya. This seemed like the perfect, you know, peachy shade for my collection. I probably have like 10 shades that are almost identical to this, but it's the type of blush I wear the most. It is a little bit powdery. Not in appearance, but like there is some kick up in the pan. And I feel like I'm probably picking up a little bit more than I need to on my brush. So I'm just gonna flip it over and start blending. This is the one thing I've been like, the Web of Destiny highlight. Now, as a 46-year-old, ooh, the one thing I'm always worried about, look at that, is that it's gonna look glittery and it's going to intensify my, you know, texture, that it's gonna get, you know, in a larger pore area, it's gonna settle in my crow's feet, it's gonna make my skin that is already not as plump and juicy as a 20-something's look older. That's not what I want, but let's see what happens here. You see how it looks kind of chunky and flaky here? I've never seen that happen on this brush. This is like the Wayne Goss airbrush. It's the only brush I use for highlight. I wonder if it's, how do I get it to look like this? Oh, by using my finger. It definitely has a really soft pink reflect to it. I'm gonna do this on the other side and then maybe blend it with the brush. Maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe that was not ideal. Okay, clean finger. A little bit of a landing strip going on over here, like land the fairies right here. Over here I feel like it's just a little softer. Is it just me or is it just as blingy? I think maybe the finger was the wrong approach. Maybe I should try a different brush. What other brush could I use with this? I'm gonna use this tapered highlighting brush from Looksy and see if I can, oh, I feel like it applies just a little bit better with this. I'm not surprised. It's a mythical collection, you know, based around mythical characters. It is a little bit flaky. And you can see literal spots of highlight, and like right here where I have it on my Cupid's bow, there's little chunks of reflect catching. It's not the smoothest highlight, but it's really pretty. So this is the most interesting highlight formula I've ever felt before, because it's a mix of being kind of like a flaky eyeshadow texture in some portions, like the white portions, like right along here, and it's kind of a mosaic. Each one's different. It's a little bit like a flaky, glittery, shimmery, I would say, shimmery eyeshadow. And then the portion that's pink, it's, I mean, you can leave an actual divot in it. Can you see that? It's like a ColourPop Super Shock highlight. It's really interesting. So you're getting some of the flakiness from the white, and you're getting some of that soft, and then it's all covered in a, I've totally ruined the print in the pan now, but each little chunk is surrounded by a little bit of gold, so it looks like a really interesting piece of marble. I'm very fascinated with this, but I like kind of like that icy look, and it does, if you catch it just right, and I'm not getting it here on camera, It has a pink and gold reflect to it. I think it's really, really beautiful. I feel like you might be able to see the pink just a little bit better on the face than you can on the back of the hand. But it's one of the most interesting textures and formulas because you're dealing a little bit with what feels like a powder product, a little bit with what feels kind of like a soft putty-like formula. It's different, it's super unique. I've never tried anything like it all in the same place. I think it's beautiful, but I don't know how often I'm going to wear it because I do have little bits of sparkle. Like if I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I can find like little flecks of glitter here, little flecks of intense sparkle here. I don't know that it's the most flattering on my 46-year-old skin, but the little kid in me who feels like I'm a fairy is loving this. I'm not gonna lie. So the last thing to try is one of their lipsticks. They had both a cream and a matte formula. I love a cream lipstick, so I got the cream formula, and this is in the shade Brown Rose. And just for fun, let's give you a little swatch. Ooh, that's just one swipe. That's pretty. Oh, it feels amazing on the lips. I love the way that this feels on my lips. It's definitely a cream formula. It has some nice shine to it. This is the shade here, swiped multiple times, and the top is just like one swipe. So it does give you some versatility in application and what you want it to look like. I'm sure I could blot this down a couple of times and get it more to be like a stain. I think this lipstick is one of those that you could really get a lot of different types of looks out of. I like that it has kind of a warm terracotta-y feel with a little bit of rose involved. This Brown Rose is a perfect name for this. I think it's beautiful. Now, I feel like I'm gonna have a more precise lip line because I'm 46 and the year 2020 has left its mark on my face if I actually were to use a lip liner. But for today, you know what? Let's put some lip liner on. I would feel better about this. I feel so much more confident now that I have a lip liner on. I don't know how this is gonna wear because it does have a very creamy, emollient feel. I am really impressed. I really expected to because I heard Angelica talk about this brand so highly. And I mean, the eyes alone, like mind blown. I want more of these shadows. And of course at this point I've only used a section of them. Do we need to do some swatches? I don't know how long this video is gonna get if we do this. So these are the top two rows. This first shade right here is gonna be really pale because it's very close to my skin tone. But those are the first two rows, like that middle row. Oh, that marigold right at the end, trying to get it in focus, it's focusing on the wrong thing, is just spectacular. These are the swatches for the bottom two rows. I feel like some of those, in the bottom row, those more plummy shades, those mattes are a little powdery. They don't perform as well as the other mattes, but the metallics in here like steal the show. They're so reflective. They take my breath away. They're so pretty. I feel like the hardest part about showing you these shadows is that although I'm showing them to you and I'm swatching them for you, you don't really, you know, they're on the eyes and they're really pretty. You don't really get the full impact because when I'm looking at this in person, I'm seeing a whole nother level of duochrome, of sparkle, of shiftiness. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. The eye look was really easy to do. The swatches were easy. Some of them were a little bit persnickety because they were softer than I was anticipating, and I went in there like, and it's like, oh no, be careful. And then other ones I really had to, like this shade right here, I really had to go for it. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. I will definitely, you know, give me 2 to 3 weeks. Let me continue to play with these and let you know whether it's worth your money. I feel like just for the sheer joy and the prettiness of it, it's worth it for me. I'm very happy with it. And I think that the eyeshadow is probably going to be one of the things that I reach for the most. I have a ton of lipsticks that kind of give me the same feel. I have a ton of blush. I've got a different shade, but this is kind of like my go-to shade. I thought if I'm going to try something, let me try a shade that I know I'm going to reach for a lot. This is super interesting, but it comes down to, does it look good on my skin or is it just fun for me to play with? Thank you so much for watching today. Oh, it was fun. I hope you got the little kid giddy because this has kind of been one of those videos for me where it is like, like a little kid in a candy store. If you have a favorite indie brand, definitely let me know what it is in the comments down below, or there's a brand you're curious about that you want me to try. I would also be curious about that. If you've ever tried Oden's Eye, let me know what your favorite products are. Or if you've been thinking about it and you weren't sure, let me know that as well. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching and for being subscribed, and I will see you again soon. Bye.